Hey you, so in this video, gifting gold and silver for Christmas, I'm just going to be going over what some would consider pros and cons of doing exactly that. So before we get into this, I'd like to say if you like what you see / hear and you haven't done so already, please do go ahead and subscribe. So yes, I'm back. It has been quite some time since my last video. A lot's been happening, I had a very large project still ongoing, but I needed all hands on deck. So while I was recruiting a lot more outsourcing, I also had to get a lot more involved myself. And I've also had a very close friend of mine that's suffered a massive loss recently. His whole world's been turned upside down. So, I had to just be there for him in his corner and really hold him down. So that's why it's been damn near 2-3 weeks I've been gone. But yes, I am here. I'm responding to all Instagram messages and also any emails that I've received. I'm catching up on everything. I'm not gone, so I will be getting back in contact with everybody in tune. There is a few other things. I was asking a lot of questions. I'm gonna have a lot of videos coming up this week regarding Kooks and Una and just thoughts and opinions and other things. So I will definitely be catching up with everything and myself in due coming time in upcoming videos. But yeah, so let's jump straight into this. This has really came about once again just from the situation my friend's been put in himself. So I've gifted gold and silver in the past, but as it's the festive season is upon us and what's coming up now for myself, especially as I have so much, it's going to be something I'm doing a lot more of, really, and just give my thoughts and opinions. We'll give 5 reasons now as to why it's a major step I'm doing now, i.e. gifting gold and silver for Christmas, and any negatives or positives that I can see towards that. So if it's something you've been doing or considered doing, please let me know in the comments how it's worked out for you and why you do or don't do it, and that is i.e. gifting gold and silver to your loved ones, friends, associates. If you do give scarves or handkerchiefs or gift vouchers, which is very common, then you may want to look at what I've got on display here and maybe switch up. So jumping straight into this, everything you see here in terms of size would be what I'd be gifting. I believe this is a 1/10 gold piece here, so this would have to be someone very close to myself, very close family member or loved one that I'd be gifting a 1/10 ounce gold piece to. I really do hope that's a 1/10 ounce. I'm really struggling to see here, but straight off the bat, I would say the only negative I could see to this, and this wouldn't be a negative on the giver's side, would be when coming to gifting gold and silver, would be something like this is 1/20th, I believe. When you gift something like gold and silver, it's not going to have that wow factor, depending on who the recipient is. I.e., I don't know what we are now, number iPhone, but if you was to gift them an iPhone 11, you're going to get that wow factor, that jaw dropping, ooh, oh my goodness. Even if you was to gift them anything, and I've got a few wish lists from different people, and some of the things on the list, I can tell you, the second they've bought, they've damn near lost 50% of their value. But it still gives them that ushy-gushy feeling inside when they receive something they want. And, I can't now, me personally, if you was to gift me anything, I'm very hard to buy presents for, but I'm always telling people I don't want nothing. But if I was to receive some of the shiny stuff here, it would be the best gift you could give me, really, because it's real money, real wealth. But for some that ain't really down with the click, down with the beep and understand what's going on, this could be something bad. This could be something that they didn't want or don't want and see as a burden. But as mentioned, it's going to be no frills. Literally, they're not getting that new iPhone, they're not getting that new laptop, they're not getting the new fancy pair of shoes or whatever's in fashion now. They're getting real money. So that would be the only drawback I could see. But then once again, it's all on the recipient. It could be someone old, someone young, and they want something absolutely totally different. But that's the only negative I personally could see. Another one would be giving it to the wrong type of person. If you own gold and silver, the plus side is we all know how technical it could be selling. A lot of people collect but don't sell, so it's not as liquid. If somebody was going to spunk it away, for instance, they'd have to do a bit of research going about that, which could be a good thing. So they can't dispose of it as fast, not like going down to your local shop. Yes, they could go to a pawn shop, but would they go to those lengths? If you're really dealing with someone like that in your life, you may want to avoid giving them these types of things. But moving forward, I would say pluses moving forward would most definitely be that you would be giving them something that's going to be appreciated over time. As mentioned, a lot of people have sent me wish lists and everything on there, but it's something that they want. So, who you to say otherwise. But that when you give this gift, there's a lot of stuff. My kids, because of the missus, it's just, environmental nightmare, just unwrapping. Some of the stuff just stays where it is. Literally, they get that thrill. It's the youngest we're talking here. Get the thrill of opening it, and it doesn't move. We have to pack that back in their bag of later forever to never be seen again. Whereas, gifting something like this even to a child, although it's going to end up with the same mentality of, on the back burner or never to be seen again, if you could put it away for them on layaway or something like that, as they get older, they can come back, especially if you film these types of things. And they're, for instance, saying, I received 4 silver coins today. You've got that immortalized on film. And as time moves on and they get older, they'll be able to accumulate and then really count down and see what they've got over a long period of time, over 5 years or something. As we all know, it all adds up and builds up. So that's the definite plus there. But we know it's one of those things that in time it's most definitely going to appreciate, depending on who you ask. But regardless of what happens to the dollar or the pound in the long run, this stuff here is going to hold its value. Regardless of whether they've got the new iPhone 200 or not, this stuff here is going to hold its value. It's not going to be tanking like the rest of the things. We'll have our fluctuations in spot, but there's a most definite plus there when we're looking at appreciation over a long period of time. Whereas damn near everything I bought for my kids last year, Christmas-wise, is dead. We're talking a good 70% plus loss right now. So a next plus would be it could jumpstart collecting. I took a few of the lions, Queen's Beast, we're talking here, griffins. I've been doing little parcels like that over periods of time, and it could jumpstart somebody liking what they've got there. These are fantastic gifts, especially when you got collector coins that you purchased at issue price that are now appreciated. It's double whammy, best of all, because they've got a coin if they want to check up what the price is doing fantastic, and they may want to backtrack or even start collecting and building on from there. So it's a definite plus depending on who the recipient is. Again, some people may just hold it and lose it, never to be seen again. And then some may hold it, get into it, like it, and then maybe want to build upon that. So that's a definite plus when you can give it to somebody of that nature that wants to add on and keep on going from there. If you can help them get in the hardest part, if it's a collector coin you're giving, it's mainly going to be referring to a collector piece. Many have mentioned that the Marvel coins, for instance, could really help trigger kids get into that, because we all know Marvel's the rage right now. They've got the Venom, the Captain America, the Black Panther, the Spider-Man. Classic characters here with 4. And kids may want to go for all of that. So, you may get them before, for instance, and the Spider-Man and the Black Panther for Christmas. Then upcoming birthday, they may want to carry on from there. So that's a definite plus there. But then it can spread across the range, really, from the old classic American coins to a lot of the raw mint licensed gimmicky stuff. Depending on whatever mint you want worldwide, it could most definitely trigger and jumpstart collecting, depending on who you're speaking to. So again, another plus I would say is that it creates a savings account outside of the banking system. Many people, including myself, had these piggy banks, like the pound jars or the loose change jars. A lot of people have had those, but technically you're still within the system with these coins because you're using the fiat or coinage that's current. So, a situation I had when we recently switched up the round pounds is that I had a lot of these loose change jars all over the place, loose change pots, and there was a situation where I had to catch up with myself and get down to the nearest bank to cash them in because they was no longer going to be accepted. That was a pain in the ass, and there's many other things you can give in terms of bonds or stocks and the likes of, but we're referring to gold and silver here. And, you wouldn't have to suffer that issue with something like that. And I know my kids loved that, when I was giving them the change and they'd put it in these pound pots that we had, all these penny pots, and it was something fantastic for them to do, and it encouraged them. So when you're giving something like this, although you're not going to be technically, some of them in a pot, you can have tubes. And that's your new mission in life, to fill up a tube. And that you're never going to have a situation whereas this piece is going to be going out of fashion today or no longer minted and you're moving on to the new currency. So they get that joy of filling up a tube, whether it was American Silver Eagle tube or Britannia tube. As they get one, they move on. So it most definitely is a new form of saving outside of the banking system. There's not that many when you look at it. If you want to go outside the banking system, there's gold and silver, then there's gold and silver. Let me know your thoughts and opinions of different saving systems outside of the banking system. So that's a definite plus right there. And then, last and not least, I would say it's an introduction to real money. You know, you can gift somebody what you're looking at right there, and as it comes, you can put it in a nice fancy packaging, but straight off the bat, they're going to know, everyone and anybody knows gold. You could go a lot lower, so technically same price point-ish. You know, you're looking at more of a fancy piece though when we're talking the Panda, as we all know. And 1 gram is very underwhelming, but in the end of the day, gold is gold. And then they have that, you know, joy of hunting and looking into and just getting into what is real money. So it could also be that trigger that jumpstarts them into inquiring and looking at what is. As I did say, you know, I recently gifted a friend, close friend of mine, a parcel just to help him and the family get along. And it's interesting because he's now more into it, and I think it was the best gift somebody could have given, you know, especially for the kids. A lot of people do premium bonds or give some type of certificates and savings accounts, but when you can look at this and, for instance, gift kids or whoever a sovereign and 5, you know, silver ounce pieces, then you're good. It's fantastic, and anybody can continue from there. But you could also really find out what's going on there, the pluses and the negatives of that. So it gives the person an introduction into inquiring and maybe on the path as to understanding what real money is and what real money ain't. And I'd most definitely say the current fiat system we have in our play at the moment definitely is in the ain't. So, you know, I'm going to wrap this one up, guys, but I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on gifting gold and silver for Christmas. Do you do it? You know, will you consider doing it? It's definitely a gift that you can purchase that, you know, if the person receiving it doesn't like it, you can always buy back. So there could be a plus side there, like, hey, here's the gift. If you don't like it, I'll be able to give you the equivalent in a month's time or something like that. Or even, you know, if you was going to buy them something that could be technically considered junk, check the prices at the time. You could be gifting them 7, 8, 9, 10 silver coins and whatever it is you was going to buy them. And, you know, a month, 2 months from now, you can see the difference in price and see what's working out and what isn't. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on gifting gold and silver. It's something I'm going to be doing a lot more, especially with a lot of the collector pieces that I have. That also draws a lot of people in. You know, we're talking Dragon Phoenix coins and the like. So this got more eye appeal, you know, more eye catching to somebody that's absolutely not involved or interested in coin collecting whatsoever. Of course, there's the silver and gold element to it, but it's really hard to draw in a non-believer. As I mentioned before, a lot of the gimmick coins do a lot better at that, as it's got more of a theme to it. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on gifting gold and silver for Christmas, and if you do or you don't do it, and your reasons why. So hey, I love it, guys. We'd love to know what you think about this video. Once again, please do go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys in the rebound.